Hello and welcome back to CS38 Racing. We're here for episode 8 in Aragon, a track that I'm not so fond of. But surprisingly, we did have a pretty strong race with a pretty big twist right on the last corner of the last lap. So make sure you stick around, watch this episode, put a comment what your favourite pass was, tell me where you're up to with your career mode, and see what we can do. But anyway, let's get down into this episode and see how everything went at the Aragon Grand Prix. Okay, so we're down here in the first qualifying. So I've just shortened it down to the fastest lap that I did during the session, just to keep the episodes flowing a bit thick and fast. I know this episode hasn't gone out as quickly as the other episodes. I've been a bit busy lately, but anyway, we've got an episode out, we've got it going. Okay, so we're coming into the turn 1 and turn 2. Very tricky turn 1 to get. Even on the Moto3s, I can find myself running wide quite easily, so I'm sure once we step up to Moto2 and GP, that'll be something different to contend with. This corner is also a little bit tricky too, because it's very easy to get sucked into running wide on turn 5. If you haven't already and you want to get better at Aragon, check out our ride track guide for Aragon. I'll link it in the description and also a little card here in the video for you so that you can learn Aragon with me. Full disclosure, I am not a professional. I am not the fastest rider by any means. I do enjoy the game and I'm sort of, I would say, probably beginner myself, but if you want to learn with me, go watch that video. We can learn together and can improve along the way. This is my favorite corner of Aragon, but it can also be very easy to make that mistake into that corner. Then we're coming into another chicane section here. You can get very risky and put yourself into a pass if you want to, but it's really important to be able to defend yourself down this back straight, which is a bit hard with the little Moto3 bikes, having to push a long way down this back straight here, particularly with the slipstream coming into effect when you are racing. Into the final corner now, turn 16. Keeping the bike in third, just trying to feather the throttle, roll on the throttle as much as possible, get the power down to the ground. We crossed the line with a 156.622, and that was enough to get us through to the second qualifying, which was quite surprising because in the practice we were nowhere. We did not have any pace compared to anyone else here. So let's see if we can follow our fellow Australian rider Kelso around this Aragon circuit. He's got the apex nicely met there. Let's see if we can follow him through this first sector to give us a little bit of a reference. Ooh. We don't want to get too close to him because we don't want to run into him and get ourselves a penalty. And we also don't want to balk ourselves. We've got a bit balked there, which we did have to take a different line to get around. And it's a bit costly because it is costing us a bit of time here with Kelso, but at the same time we don't have enough pace to get past him just yet. So let's see if we can just keep using this slipstream to our advantage. Maybe we can line up a move into the reverse corkscrew, see if he's going to run wide, and if we can make an undercut. We're going to try and go for an undercut. This is more like a racing lap here than a hot lap for qualifying, but hey, you've got to get the gloves out when you've got to get the gloves out, right? So there we go. Through on Kelso, still a red sector at this point, pulling the bike into the apex at turn 11, coming into 12, coming into 13 now. We're going to be close enough to get a slipstream off Carpe ahead of us. I don't think we are, but we're still 0.3 up at this stage on the fastest time with 3 minutes remaining in the session. So I think we could have a good opportunity to be starting on the front 2 rows, which would not be bad considering our history here at Aragon. So it is quite positive that we could be starting on the 2 front rows of the grid. As we look to come across the line, Carpe's gone into the pits. We've done a 56.464 65, sorry. and that was enough to put us on pole, surprisingly. I did not think we were going to get pole. I was thinking we were going to be in the top 6 here, but we've got to pole. Oh, sorry, second position. How does that work? Either way, not too sure what's going on. Oh no, we were in first. That was a bit weird on the timing tower there. We're going on the rundown into turn 1. Whoop, a little bit of a twitch there. But we've managed to make it through. We got the whole shot. And we're looking to make quite a good getaway here. We're almost half a second ahead now of Piqueras and Rueda, who possibly are engaging. Yes, they are engaging in a bit of a battle that can give us a little bit more time, but I'm a little bit cautious because a second at this stage in the race, it's giving me some suspicions, because what if we've just absolutely burning up our tires right now and the AI are conserving the tires? I don't know how much that can play into it or how much they will play into that. But we do have to consider that over this 7-lap race. But also at the same time, I don't want to be stuck hanging around in the group. We have had these sort of battles a bit before during the season, and it hasn't resulted so well if we are in the pack. So I'm sort of trying to manage, maybe if we can keep the gap at about a second, it'll give us a good amount of breathing room. And also enough for us to understand where our tyre management's at. But our tyre management should be okay, considering we're on medium front and medium rear. I don't know what the rest of the field has gone for, but if the mediums are their choice, then we may be in a good position. But if there's some softs, I would have expected them to be quicker at the offset. But we do know that the AI pick up their pace towards the end of the race, and we've run wide there, but we do have 2 seconds in hand, so that's not going to be too bad. As we come across the line now for the first lap, it is ourselves from Piqueras, Rueda, and Quiles, and Fernandez rounding out the top 5 into turn 1 now on the brakes, hitting the apex nice and smooth. Now we're just going to try and manage keeping it. Oh, there's a crash in the first sector. I am not sure who that is. It must be Munoz. Munoz is out. Munoz and Uriarte have had a bit of a coming together there. Ooh, so Uriarte now has a long lap penalty for an incident happening with Buchanan. That gap has come down. It's 1.6, but this is still manageable at this stage. Oh, the rear stepped out there. That's caused us to run wide. We will have hemorrhaged about 0.3 of a second there. Piqueras seems to be holding strong, as does Rueda. Let's just sort of see what can happen here. Again, that gap is coming down. That's what I was concerned about. Even though we're only 2 laps in, that gap went from 2 seconds to a second over this lap. So we have lost a lot of time, and Rueda is not that far behind us, and he is our main objective for this race, to get some more points in our favour within the championship and the Grand Prix paddock. We click into 4th gear now onto the main straight. Going to click up into 5th gear, hitting it around 230 kilometers before we're on the brakes. On the brakes into turn 1, we're a little bit wide there, but we're still putting in a good lap. But Luca Lunetta has put in the fastest lap with a 1:56.647. And Luca Lunetta is sitting... He's not in the top 10 at this stage. Whoa, there we go. Piqueras has come through. He's absolutely come sweeping through there. I'm going to just actually employ the strategy of let's sit behind Piqueras and see what we can do. Let's see if we stick with him. Oh, I've got a bit of a sense that he's going to make a run for it here, because I do not feel like we have the acceleration of Piqueras. although we are in power mode 1, trying to conserve some fuel. So maybe we just need to hold and see if we can have the race come back to us here in power mode 1. Because clearly Piqueras is going for it. He's got through, the door was wide open for him, and he's absolutely running with it now. Same with Fernandez. I thought Rueda was going to come through, but Fernandez has obviously made a pass through on the Spaniard. Can we make an attack? We're going to make a lunge here on Fernandez, but he's got the inside line into the second part of this in turn 15. Can we get the undercut? Oh, we're not going to be able to. We're going to switch into power mode 2, try and get a slipstream down this long straight for the Moto3 bikes. But Rueda is just behind us. We're getting the slipstream now. Fernandez is blocking that inside line. We're going to have to go to the outside, try and outbrake and ride around the outside, which we almost pulled off. But Fernandez was able to hold strong. Are we going to get the switch back on Fernandez? Piqueras has cleared out of this race. He is absolutely flying there. We've done a 158.026. Okay, so we have been able to muscle our way through on Fernandez. Those curbs are going to make us lose a little bit of momentum. A little bit concerned considering we're doing 59s and 58s with the fastest lap being a 56. And I'm presuming the way that Piqueras has pulled away, he must be doing mid 57s or low 57s. But again, this is 8 tenths up on our best time. So now that we're in power mode 3, maybe we're going to give ourselves the ability to fight back. Now having conserved some fuel and having fought off the pack behind us. And it does look like Piqueras is a little bit closer to us here. On our screens, or vice versa, we've got closer to him than he has got closer to us. This could look pretty good now, as we are definitely gaining on Piqueras. Piqueras has absolutely used track limits there, being very, very free with his track limits. Lucky not to have gone down. We're going to go for a strike again like we did on Fernandez, but this time Piqueras holds strong. Oh, and Rueda is there because I was trying to get the switch back, but Rueda had put his bike right on the apex and I just slammed straight into him. So that wasn't going to work, but we do have to try and get ourselves ahead of Rueda, putting ourselves on the inside line for turn 16 now. But oh, we clipped the curb and we've run wide. That's going to let Rueda back through. We may even leave ourselves open to an attack from the ever pernicious Fernandez behind us. Done a 56, so we are back into that leading pace now. A little bit on that outside line. Rueda was able to just absolutely hold the apex, block the door, and seal our fate on being able to make that move. But, oh, we've had another tangle. This is the second time this season we've had a tangle with Rueda. We were just on the outside there, and as we moved in, his rear tyre connected with us, and that sent him plummeting into the gravel trap. I would expect that we would probably get a penalty from that, but maybe the racing stewards might deem it a racing incident. Okay, no, irresponsible riding has gone to Almanza, so we haven't. I thought that stewards was going to be for us. But either way, that little tangle with Rueda has cost us time with the top two. Fernandez and Piqueras are leading themselves into a very, very vicious battle at the front of this Moto3 race at Aragon. Braking heavily now into turn 12. Oh, just a little bit deep there. We will get a track limits warning. And Fernandez is now taking the lead of this Aragon Grand Prix. Confidently taking the lead. Piqueras just sitting behind him, just watching his moves, seeing where his weaknesses and strengths are on the track. At the moment, we're just trying to pull ourselves back into this main battle with Piqueras and Fernandez because, well, we've got pretty good pace, but if we make one mistake here or there, it costs us a lot of time to be able to make that back. So it's currently 2 Hondas versus 1 KTM here. I do have KTM of Quiles behind us as well. I'm going to come to the outside here because I feel like Fernandez and Piqueras are going to engage in a little bit of a battle. We made a lot of time into the braking zone on turn 1 there. And I'm going to be cautious. I don't want another incident to happen like it did last round. There was a bit of a twitch there from Piqueras. That gives us the opportunity to get back around the outside as well as the outside of Fernandez. But it puts us in a very awkward position for turn 5, and Fernandez comes straight back through, but we did not give up that position for lack of trying. See if we can try and take a sweeping line, but got to be careful because Piqueras is also sniffing around the door. And we do seem to take a little bit of a wider line than what the AI do, so it does goad them into wanting to make a pass. As we're looking to do the same here on Fernandez, but Fernandez is going to have better... Well, I thought he was going to have better exit speed, but we seem to be right on his tail. But again, we're on the outside. Fernandez is very good at defending this position here. We have got back to the front of the race, but now the pressure is on because we only have one more lap once we cross the line to be able to hold these positions. Let's see if we can put in a really good lap here. We were still in the 56s, a high 56. We've gone deep into turn 1, very deep into turn 1. That's going to absolutely put us in a position to not be able to hold first position into the end of this first sector. Someone has gone down. I presume that would be a crash at turn 1. The pressure is on big time here now. I just feel... Oh, see that twitch there? These are all little twitches that are happening because of the pressure that we're feeling to have to lead the race. Our tyres are still in a good position. I think it's more of a mental break as Fernandez looks to make a way through, and we are trying our hardest to not just hand him that position. Let's see if we can get a switch back. He's on not the optimal line as we try to cut the inside line and get some acceleration, but that sweeping line can be very beneficial for corner speed. We know we're going to have to attack into either the last corner now or this corner here, but I don't think we're going to be close enough. Oh, we're right on the rear of Fernandez there, and I thought we were going to go down and take Fernandez with us, but we've managed to just keep it under control. Again, we have to go for a lunge. There's no other option here. But Fernandez is going to have that inside line, and we're trying to hold around the outside. Now let's get into the slipstream and see if we can make a move into the final corner. Got that slipstream. It's going to give us that inside line. Can we pull off a remarkable win here in the Battlelands of Aragon? And oh, there was a twitch there from Fernandez, and we had to sit up as well. That has let Fernandez through as well as Piqueras. We would have had the lead there, but we've just lost out, but we're still on the podium. What a round here at Aragon. So, final results, Fernandez, Piqueras, ourselves in 3rd, Quiles in 4th, and Yamanaka in 5th. We did have that tangle with Rueda, so we do have to consider that in the championship and what role that's going to play. Again, no intention meant there. Apologies to Rueda. We've put ourselves in 2nd, so it's now ourselves and Fernandez fighting for this championship. At the front of the Moto3 field, 2 Hondas, Leopard leading the team's championship. We're in 3rd. So we've got a bit of work to do. But it's okay. This is a solid result considering that this is Aragon, and normally Aragon we have very, very poor performance on average over the years. But this is good. So if you've enjoyed this one, guys, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment what your favorite pass was, your favorite part of the race was. Tell us how you're going in your career mode, whether that be Moto3, MotoGP, or Moto2, wherever you're at. Just join in, share the vibes. It's all good. Okay, so we've got some more points and reputation building up. Oh, we've got some potential offers. We've got to choose our path now. Now, look, I mean, as much as these are really good teams, particularly the Aspar in Moto3, I do think we need to go with Moto2 Blue Crew. At least it will give us the option to step up into MotoGP later if we perform well. With that being said, though, the speed ups aren't the greatest bike or chassis, should I say, in the Moto2 category, but I do think this is our best chance of progression. Plus, we want next season to be Moto2, so I'm most likely going to go with Blue Crew here. Yeah, we should just go with Blue Crew. Okay, it hasn't got that much fuel delivery. Its engine's okay. Stability is ish. Yeah, I think overall, interesting that we've got more engine power than the other Moto3 bikes, but we do seem to suffer a lot on acceleration for them. Blue Crew it will be. Let's go with Blue Crew. Okay, now let's choose a rivalry for the second part of this season. Finish in front of Piqueras in the standings. Contract chance. Development, finish in front of Almanza in the standings. Development, efficiency, reputation points. We've got a rivalry with Fernandez. Feel like we've got to go the rivalry with Fernandez. Keep this tension rolling in the championship. Make it a bit more entertaining. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a debrief. Yes, okay, so it's pretty much the same as last time. Don't feel that there is that much to explain here, but I'll leave it running. Anyway, stay safe, have fun. See you on the next one. Bye for now.